Hello, welcome to our channel Learn to Score. In this video, I am going to solve exercise 2 of 10th class real numbers chapter. I hope you will like the video. Please subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Thank you. Question number 1 is express each number as a product of its prime factors. We are given total 5 numbers. We are asked to express each of the given numbers as a product of its prime factors. Let's start with the first number, that is 140, right? 140 can be written as 2 times 70. Here 2 is the prime number and 70 is the composite number, right? Let's write 70 now as 2 times 35. Here 2 is the prime number and 35 is the composite number. Now let me write 35 as 5 times 7. Here both 5 and 7 are prime numbers. We stop here and write 140 as 2 times 2 times 5 times 7. 2 times 2 times 5 times 7, right? So I can write that as 2 square times 5 times 7, right? What are the prime factors of 140? 2, 2, 5 and 7. Got it? Now let's look at the second part of the problem, that is 156. 156 can be written as 2 times 78. Here 78 is the composite number. Now let's write 78 as 2 times 39. Here 39 is the composite number. Let me write that as product of two prime numbers 3 and 13, right? It means I can write 156 as 2 times 2 times 3 times 13, right? That can also be written as 2 square times 3 times 13. Got it? Now let's look at the third number, that is 3825. Since the last digit is 5, let's divide the given number with 5 such that I can write it as 5 times 765, right? 765 can also be divided by 5. That's why let me write it as 5 times 153. 153 is a composite number and it can be divided by number 3, which is a prime number. That's why let me write this as 3 times 51. 51 is a composite number. It can be written as 3 times 17, right? So 17 is also a prime number. So we stop here and write 3825 as 5 times 5, 3 times 3 times 17. I can write it as 5 square times 3 square times 17. Got it? Now let's look at 5005. It can be written as 5 times 1001, right? It can be written as 7 times 143. 143 can be written as 11 times 13. Here 5, 7, 11 and 13 are the prime numbers, right? So let me write 5005 as 5 times 7 times 11 times 13. Got it? Now let's look at the last part of the problem, that is 7429. That can be written as 17 times 437. Here 17 is the prime number. You look at all the prime numbers 2, 3, you try to divide 7429 with all those numbers and see that those are not factors, right? The smallest prime number which can divide 7429 is 17. That's why let me write 7429 as 17 times 437. 437 is a composite number. Let me write that as 19 times 23. Here 19 and 23 both are prime numbers. So 7429 now can be written as 17 times 19 times 23. These three are the prime numbers. And in other words, I can say that 7429 can be written as product of prime factors 17 times 19 times 23. Got it? Question number 2. Find the LCM and HCF of following integers by the prime factorization method. We are given total 5 sets of numbers. We are asked to find LCM and HCF of the given set of numbers. The first set is 12, 15 and 21, right? Let's find prime factors of these numbers first. And then we can find what is the LCM of those numbers and what is the HCF of those numbers, right? So 12 can be written as 2 times 6. Here 2 is the prime number, 6 is the composite number. 6 can be now written as 2 times 3, where both 2 and 3 are prime numbers, right? So let me write 12 as 2 times 2 times 3. That can also be written as 2 square times 3, right? Now 15 can be written as 3 times 5. Here both 3 and 5 are prime numbers. So 15 can be written as product of prime factors 3 and 5. So 15 equal to 3 times 5. The other number is 21, right? 21 can be written as 3 times 7. Here 3 and 7 both are prime numbers. That's why we write 21 as 3 times 7. Let's take a note of all these prime factors. 12 can be written as 2 square times 3, and 15 can be written as 3 times 5, and 21 can be written as 3 times 7, right? LCM is defined as product of greatest power of each prime factors in the numbers. Please note the definition. It is defined as product of greatest power of each prime factors in the numbers, right? Meaning we have to find what are the prime factors first and what are their greatest power, and then we can take their product. Prime factors involved are 2, 3, 5 and 7, right? Of course 3 is there already, we have counted. So prime factors are 2, 3, 5 and 7. So we have now each prime factors, what are their greatest powers? Let's see, right? Highest power of number 2 is 2 square. You can see here, right? That's why highest power of 2 is 2. Highest power of 3 is 1. Wherever you consider, highest power of 3 is 1, right? Now highest power of 5 is also 1, right? Then highest power of 7, that is also equal to 1, right? Now we got what are the prime factors and then what are their highest powers or greatest powers, right? Now we have to write those numbers, product of those numbers. So LCM now can be written as 2 square, because 2 is the prime factor and its highest power is 2. That's why we have written 2 square. Then 3 is the prime factor and its highest power is 1. That's why 3 power 1 times 5 power 1 times 7 power 1. You multiply these. 2 square is 4 and 3 power 1 is 3, 5 power 1 is 5, 7 power 1 is 7. When you multiply all these, what you get is 420 as the LCM of these three numbers. Got it? Now let's look at HCF. HCF is defined as product of the smallest power of each common prime factors. The word common is important here because we have to find what are the common prime factors for all these numbers, and then what are their smallest powers, and then take their products, right? So what are the common prime factors? You look at this. Here 2 and 3 are there. Here 3 and 5 are there. 3 and 7 are there. So what is common across all this? 3, right? So the common prime factor is just 3. Okay, its smallest power or highest power, is 1 only, right? Since its smallest power is 1, we say that 3 power 1, that is equal to 3, is the HCF. Got it? Now let's look at the second part of the problem, that is 17, 23 and 29, right? For that combination, we have to find the HCF and LCM, right? 17 is a prime number. So it has only one prime factor, that is 17, right? 23 is also a prime number. It means it has only one prime factor, that is 23. 29 is a prime number. So it also has only one prime factor, right? So now we have seen that LCM is defined as product of greatest power of each prime factors in the numbers. So 29 is one prime factor, of 23 is another prime factor, and 17 is another prime factor, right? And their greatest power is 111 only, right? Let's take their product. So prime factors are 17, 23, and 29. So, and their highest powers is also 1. That's why LCM is going to be 17 power 1 times 23 power 1 times 29 power 1, right? When you multiply all these numbers, you get the answer as 11,339. Got it? Now, when you look at these numbers, 17, 23, and 29, they don't have any common prime factor, right? So they have no common prime factors. Then how do I get the HCF, right? But you see one thing, they don't have common prime factors, but they have one common factor, that is 1. You look at this, only one factor, it is not prime factor, only one factor they have in common, that is number 1, right? This is the highest common factor. Number 1 is the highest common factor. It is not a prime factor. Please note this. So HCF of 17, 23, and 29 is 1. Got it? When HCF of given numbers is only 1, then you say that those numbers are co-prime numbers. Please note this. These numbers are called co-prime numbers. Now let's look at the next part of the problem, that is 8, 9, and 25. We want to find what is the LCM and what is the HCF, right? 8 can be written as 2 times 4 and 4 can be written as 2 times 2. So that now I can write 8 as 2 cube, right? What is the prime factor? Just 2, right? 9 can be written as 3 times 3. It means it is 3 square. 25 can be written as 5 times 5. It is 5 square, right? Let's take a note of that. And we have seen the definition of LCM. It is the product of greatest power of each prime factors in the numbers. What are the prime factors? Number 2, number 3, and number 5. Right? What are their greatest powers? We have to see. Greatest powers is 3 for number 2 and 2 for number 3 and 2 for number 5. Right? Let's write that. Highest power of 2 is number 3. Highest power of 3 is number 2 and highest power of 5 is 2. So LCM now can be written as 2 cube times 3 square times 5 square. Got it? That can be now written as 2 cube equal to 8, 3 square equal to 9 and 5 square equal to 25. When you multiply all these numbers, 8 times 9 times 25, you get answer as 1800. It means the LCM of given set of numbers is 1800. Got it? When you look at the prime factors, you see that there is no common prime factor, right? Here only we have 2, here we have 3, here we have 5. Since there are no common prime factors, what we have to see, what is the common factor. Here we are talking about common prime factors. Here we are talking about just common factor, that is number 1, right? 8, 9, and 25 have a common factor, that is number 1. That's why we say that HCF of these 3 numbers is number 1. Got it? Now let's look at the next part of the problem, that is 72 and 108. Let's write 72 as 2 times 36. 36 can be written as 2 times 18. 18 can be written as 2 times 9. And 9 can be written as 3 times 3. Right? It means 72 can be written as 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. This is 2 cube and this is 3 square. Right? Now let's look at the prime factors of 108. 108 can be written as 2 times 54. 54 can be written as 2 times 27. And 27 can be written as 3 times 9, and 9 can be written as 3 times 3, right? It means 108 can be written as 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3, 2 square times 2, 3 cube, right? Let's take a note of that. And quickly recall the definition of LCM. It is the product of greatest power of each prime factors in the numbers. What are the prime factors involved here? 2 and number 3, right? So we have to see what are their highest powers and then take their product, right? Highest power of number 2 is 3 and highest power of number 3 is also 3. Got it? Here we have 3, here we have 2 cube, and this is 3 cube. That's why highest power of 2 is 3 and highest power of 3 is also 3, right? So LCM is going to be 2 cube times 3 cube. It is 8 times 27, that is equal to 216, right? LCM of given numbers is 216. Now let's find HCF. HCF is defined as product of smallest power of each common prime factors. What are the common prime factors? Number 2 and number 3, right? These are common. Number 2 is common in both the numbers and number 3 is also common in both the numbers. That's why 2 and 3 are the common prime factors. And what are their smallest powers? For example, here 2 square, 2 is the smallest power, and in the case of 3, 2 is the smallest power here, right? That's why let's take product of those two numbers, that is 2 square times 3 square, right? That is 4 times 9, that is equal to 36. HCF of given numbers 72 and 108 is 36. Got it? Now let's look at the last part of the problem, that is 306 and 657. 306 can be written as 2 times 153 and 153 can be written as 3 times 51 and 51 can be written as 3 times 17, right? It means 306 can be written as 2 times 3 times 3 times 17. That can be written as 2 times 3 square times 17. Now let's look at 657. 657 can be written as 3 times 219. 219 can be written as 3 times 73. Please note this, 73 itself is a prime number. So it means 657 now can be written as 3 square times 73. Right? Let's take a note of that. Now, as per the definition of LCM, we have to find what are the prime factors involved. Those are 2, 3, 17 and 73, right? And what are their highest powers? And then take product of those numbers. So highest power of 2 is 2, highest power of 2 is 1, highest power of 3 is 2, highest power of 17 is 1, and 73 is also 1. So LCM is going to be 2 power 1 times 3 square times 17 power 1 times 73 power 1. When you multiply all that, you get 22,338 as the LCM of these two numbers. Got it? Now let's look at the HCF. HCF is defined as product of smallest power of each common prime factors. Do you have some common prime factor? You have, right? 3 is here and 3 is here. So common prime factor is 3. And what is the smallest power of that? Smallest power of 3 is 2 here, 2 here. That's why we say smallest power of 3 is 2. So HCF can be now written as 3 square, that is equal to 9. Got it? HCF of 306 and 657 is 9. Question number 3. Check whether 6 power n can end with digit 0 for any natural number n. We have to check whether 6 power n can end with digit 0 for any natural number n. For the number 6 power n to end with digit 0 for any natural number n, it should be divisible by 5. 6 power n should be divisible by 5, then only we can say that it will end with digit 0. Got it? It means 5 should be one of the prime factors of 6 power n. Got it? 5 should be one of the prime factors of 6 power n. But 6 power n can be written as 2 times 3 whole power n, right? 6 can be written as 2 times 3, and that is whole power. 6 power n can be written as 2 times 3 whole power n. As you see here, there is no number 5 as the prime factor, right? We know that as per the fundamental theorem of arithmetic, prime factors are unique. Their order can be different, but the prime factors for a given number are unique, right? In this case, we have seen that prime factors for number 6 are 2 and 3, not 5, right? It means 6 power n will have 2 power n and 3 power n as the prime factors, not 5 power something as the prime factor, right? Since 5 is not a prime factor of 6, 6 power n cannot end with digit 0 for any natural number n. Got it? If you want to understand this further, we can do simply. We know that natural numbers are the numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, right? What is 6 power 1? That is equal to 6, right? When I take small n equal to 1, you get 6 power 1, that is equal to 6. When you take small n equal to 2, 6 power 2, that is equal to 36. What is 6 cube? That is 216. 6 power 4, that is 1296. 6 power 5, 7776. When you look at all these numbers, you see the last digit is 6 always, right? You can take 6 power 6, 6 power 7 and so on, but doesn't matter. It is always 6. So based on this, you can say that 6 power n cannot end with digit 0, right? Otherwise, based on fundamental theorem of arithmetic, we have shown that since 5 is not a prime factor of 6 or 6 power n, we can say that 6 power n cannot end with digit 0 for any natural number n. Got it? Question number 4. Explain why 7 times 11 times 13 plus 13 and 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 1 plus 5 are composite numbers. We are asked to explain why the given numbers are composite numbers, right? Let's consider the first given number, that is 7 times 11 times 13 plus 13. Look at this number. This particular part is one number and this is another number, right? 7 times 11 times 13 is, when you multiply, you get a number that is added to number 13, right? You have plus sign. When you look at this number, what you can say is, I can take number 13 as a common factor out, right? Let me do that. So when I take 13 as the common factor out of these numbers, what I get is 7 times 11 as the number. And when I take 13 as the common factor from this number, then I get 1 as the number, right? So this is equal to 13 times 77 plus 1. 7 times 11 is 77 and plus 1. That can be now written as 13 times 78, right? So now I can write the given number as 13 times 78. You can see here 13 is one factor and 78 is one factor. You can have even one more factor like number 1. Means it has more than 2 factors, right? That's why we can say that it is a composite number. In other words, I can write 78 as 2 times 3 times 13, right? 2 times 3 times 13 is 78. Let me use that and expand 78 given here, so that the given number now can be written as 13 times 2 times 3 times 13, right? That can be further written as 2 times 3 times 13 square. It has more than 2 factors. number 2 is a factor, number 3 is a factor, 13 is also a prime factor. So you have already 3 prime factors, right? That's why we say that the given number 7 times 11 times 13 plus 13 is a composite number. It has got more than 2 factors. Any number which has got only 2 factors, the number itself and number 1, then those numbers are called prime numbers, right? Rest of all the numbers are composite numbers. That's why, since the given number has got more than 2 factors, I say that it is a composite number. Got it? Now let's look at the second part of the problem. The number given is 7 times, 6 times, 5 times, 4 times, 3 times, 1 plus 5. Look at this. This is one number and we are adding 5 to it, right? Now when you look at this, I have 5 here and 5 here. I can take 5 as the common factor out of these two numbers, right? So that it can be written as 7 times, 6 times, 4 times, 3 times 1 plus 1. Got it? Now, when you simplify this particular number, what you get is 1008 and we are adding 1. So it is going to be 5 times 1009. Looking at this number itself, I can say that it has two factors, what I am seeing here, number 5 and 1009. And there is another factor which is common to any of the numbers, that is number 1. It means it has more than 2 factors, right? For that reason, I can say that it is a composite number. I don't need to, see whether 1009 has any more factors or not. No need to even check that, because already 5 is a factor and this big number is also a factor and number 1 is also a factor, right? That's why we can say that the given number is a composite number. Got it? Question number 5. How will you show that 17 times 11 times 2 plus 17 times 11 times 5 is a composite number? Explain. Let's consider the given number. Observe this. You have 17 and times 11 is common across these two numbers given, right? Here we have 2 extra as the factor and 5 extra as the factor for this particular number, right? Now let me take 17 times 11 as the common factor out. When I take that out, what I have is number 2 from the first number and number 5 from the second number, right? And the summation symbol is here, right? 17 times 11 times 2 plus 5. This 2 plus 5 becomes now 7. You see, we have written it as 17 times 11 times 7, right? All these are prime numbers. The given number was written, given number, now we have seen that it can be written as product of 3 prime numbers, 17, 11 and 7, right? It is product of 3 prime numbers. It means these 3 numbers are the prime factors for the given number, right? And we know that every composite number can be expressed as product of 2 or more number of prime numbers. You please note this. When you can write a given number as a product of 2 or more number of prime numbers, then that given number is called a composite number. It means the given number here in this problem is a composite number, because we could write it as product of 3 prime numbers. Or in other words, we can say that the given number has 3 prime factors. That's why it is a composite number, right? I hope you like the video. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel, Learn to Score. Thank you.